lady. There prevail. Sorry, I'm just eating homemade street food, jalapeno peanuts. There's stuff I can't eat anymore, so this is the last month because of my stomach and intestinal issues, which according to a wrongly quoted source, who's a claims examiner for the VA, it's not related to my service. What did he put it? He said, it's a clear etiology of a very easily defined illness that has been documented by my covenant ENT, or not ENT, gastroenterologist. This is nothing related to service. I disagree. Never had that problem until I went to the Middle East and stayed there for 5 years. Anyway, for some reason they don't want me to go past 60%. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with TDIU and with getting a loan for a house. If you're 70% plus, you don't need a down payment. That's what I think it's about. Keep us in apartments so we can be used, trafficked, abused, monitored, because they'll surround us with all kinds of predators. You know, people that will yell through the wall, people that will listen to what you say through the wall, people that will follow you to the grocery store, people that will stand outside your house and listening what's going on in your house, all kinds of stuff. People that will hack your network or throw your hotspot on a simulator that they control. But this video is not about that. It's about the fact that how people are illegally getting a third-party payee on me. And it's done through people who are claiming to work for the Department of Social Services. I have to justify every single expense that I make, or they take away money from already reduced grant. When I was rated, they took away 80% of my grant, and now they've taken away 90%. No, I take it back. They took away about 75%. Now we're at 80 to 85. There's almost nothing left. But my rating, you know, it hasn't changed technically yet. So I've been given no back pay. I have not even been paid for my 60% yet. So actually, we just had, confirmation the past 2 weeks that it wasn't some hack job, because I received letters and notices and updates to my health eligibility and such. Up until then, I thought maybe this was some kind of a hack. Somebody's trying to hack to make problems for my family, because you got to pay the money back when you're wrongly rated. Or when you're hacked and there's no evidence to support it, you got to pay that money back, and you may even go to prison. So that's why I took all my paperwork to the VA. I'm like, nothing is changing. I think there's fraud here. And that's when the VA policeman, who's friends with the guy who gave me my last 2 claims examinations, said, we don't handle that. We don't do anything with that. I don't know why my camera is fuzzy. I don't know why. There's nothing on the camera lens. But somebody must have messed with filters. But nothing I could do about it in the middle of a video. But somebody appears, like I said, to be getting a third-party pay. They're controlling our benefits. Wants me to justify all my expenses, but won't increase our cash. Our actually food stamps goes up and down, which for a family of 2 with a veteran who's been rated, but doesn't make, it's like $2,100 or $2,200 a month you can make, and they don't touch your SNAP eligibility. I mean, you can go off it if you so choose. And once I have, $600 or $700 more than we are right now, I would go off of it. Um, let the money go to somebody else, and then let somebody have less control over my family. But until then, but somebody is messing with our cash, and I put the names out there before. People refuse to meet with me in person. They refuse to give me a supervisor meeting. Instead, if I'm lucky, they'll leave a voicemail. That's it. I never get people directly. Um, the worker has ignored me now for it's got to be close to 2 weeks, maybe, um, because he reduced my benefits by $20. It's like a retaliation. I left him a unfriendly voicemail, and if he wants to make a complaint, he so can. Um, but the thing is that my complaints have been ignored. We've had so many workers retaliate and do stuff to our benefits, do stuff to our to our benefit award. They've done so much stuff, always retaliation. They've denied so much stuff, including uh, denying help from various programs that help people get on their feet. They allowed people at Michigan Works to retaliate and say that I'm not welcome at Michigan Works because I asked people to document any kind of hacking or people trying to interfere in my case and in our recovery, and they refused to do it. They even refused to fill out a police report. Somebody kept trying to hack the schedule between me and a life coach. They kept interfering in her receiving my emails of my documents, my logbook. Um, they kept knocking my phone off the tower so that her and I couldn't do our appointments, our coaching appointments. And I asked them to fill out a police report that somebody kept doing this, and they refused. And that's when one of the Matthews, I don't know if she's related to the person in the city council or not, but that's when she retaliated and followed me around the office very aggressively, but nobody filled out a report. She followed me with 300 pages, um, some form, and she says, "Oh, if you'd like to file a complaint against me, here's the guidance for it." And she followed me around their office for like 15 minutes, and nobody did a police report about that. That's aggression, and it's fraud, waste, and abuse. Why print out something that I never asked for? But I guess paper is an unlimited supply. But I don't blame the life coach. It's obvious the life coach was terrified of that lady. I don't know why. The lady is very abusive, very controlling. And at one time, when I was in a coaching appointment with her, I asked her if she felt like she was being pressured or abused or being unfairly treated in an employment situation, like being discriminated against. And she said, "I can't make comment to that." So tells you something right there. And she eventually left. But I mean, if she wasn't, I've seen horrible life coaches. I mean, she needed a little more experience, but life coaching it takes time. It's like psychotherapy. It takes time to learn how to be a good therapist. It takes time to learn how to be a good coach. She wasn't a bad coach. I had bad coaches there too that were abusive, destructive, um, made complaints over anything. Like I said, very abusive as well. They never did anything to them. As far as I know, they still work there. And I met this lady one time at the soup kitchen. And I'm just like, why? Why be so abusive and destructive? What's the point? But again, people stepping in, they refuse to meet in person. There's a reason why. Because I guess apparently sometimes they don't have the credentials they claim, or they're not who they say they are. And that's that. But our current worker now, the current team now, they keep messing with our benefits, and they want receipts for all of our expenses, but yet they refuse to increase our cash. Matter of fact, he actually decreased it when I left him a message that I have to pay $100 now in laundry fees. I'm using my washer now, but it barely works. I have to wring things out. They're not properly spun. I don't even know if they're properly washed. All I can do is dump the chemicals in there, but you know, I don't know if they're properly washed or rinsed. But so I told him we pay fees now for laundry, and then within 3 days, this is my washer right now. And then within 3 days, he's knocked $20, no, $14 to $16, somewhere around there. $14 to $20 is knocked off of our biweekly benefits transmittal, just like that. And I repeatedly asked his team to get off our case, give it to somebody else. He refuses to do it. So him and his team, it's the same 5 or 6 people now for about 5 years, so they can keep abusing us. At Saginaw County at DHHS, they refuse to give us the proper redress to air our grievances, to get legal protection, and even to file appeals. The last time they said they sent me a form to file appeals, it was 3 weeks after the time I asked for it. And if they're going to ignore the 7 to 14 day period, they're bound to reply and give you a hearing notice. I'm just wasting my time.